The next guy is coming up here. He's got some jokes I think you're going to like a lot more than the last guy. Please put your hands together for John Bradley, everyone.
You're tripping all over my spaghetti. Come on, let's go. Look, it's not easy, I swear. My buddy tried this last week for the first time. He got heckled the first time he came up and did it. I mean, I felt bad doing it, but he was terrible. Talking about spiders and shit, it's fucking ridiculous. I don't know. Tell you guys a little bit about myself. I'm 36. My brother's 39 years old. We were talking to my mom last week. She's like, yeah, I quit smoking 38 years ago. My brother was like, wait a second. And we couldn't figure it out because my mom smoked. So, it's good. She was in my house recently and she's looking at these two old cats and she's like, you know they're gonna die soon. I'm like, rude, you're gonna die soon. I feed my cats a French branded cat food. My mom does pickleback shots at a place called Kickback Jacks. I feel like we know who's gonna win that one. It's great. She recently got addicted to those Edison light bulbs, like those trendy, ones, and we had to have an intervention for her. It was dimly lit, so. My dad found out I was making fun of my mom on stage and he called me and it's like, hey, I got an idea. How about you have a little smaller comedian control you and make you better at comedy? I'll call it Fatatouille. My dad's rude. He's been selling forklifts for 40 years. You may have heard of it. And I remember growing up, we went to go see The Perfect Storm. And Mark Wahlberg, that's a huge fucking boat guy. That movie. And like 5 minutes into the movie, they're loading up the boat with supplies. And my dad's like, oh, they're using a Caterpillar. And he's just, that's not the brand of forklift that he sells. And he's just mad the rest of the movie. Later on, it's like 15 minutes left, the boat capsizes, everyone dies. My dad stands up and he's like, well, that's what they get for not using a Hyster Yale. And he left. It was still tiny. He got what he needed out of that movie. I asked him about it recently. I was like, Dad, do you remember this? He's like, yeah, of course. I love a happy ending. So. My coworker got diagnosed with tarsal tunnel, which is carpal tunnel, but for your feet. That's why I always type with my hands. Not to be cocky about it. I do work at ECU, and they give you a student worker when you work at ECU, and right now my student worker is mad at her boyfriend. One of her friends caught him leaving another girl's dorm. Like, oh, shit, all right. And I was like, well, hold on, wait a sec. Let's, maybe it was late out, it was raining, it was cold. And, she didn't want to walk all the way to her car to make sure that she was safe. He brought her inside, he fucked her. Awesome. My other student worker is an Eagle Scout, and he was telling me that there's a North Carolina troop that had the Lorax, which is the Dr. Seuss environmentally friendly character, but it was superimposed with the Confederate flag just right behind it. And I'm like, that is an awesome mix of ideologies. I just can't imagine, like everyone, please, we must work to save the trees and the planet and our right to own slaves. It's like, no. No Confederate Lorax. Do not do that. Holy shit. We'll be right back with more Confederate Lorax. Hi, I'm Mark Robinson. Is that a woman? I need the Carfax on that uterus. But I have moderate to severe plaque psoriasis, and I'm taking control, so it's good. Oh yeah, we're getting into Halloween. It's Reese's pumpkin season. I fucking love what Reese's does. Every holiday, they just press the same fake oval shape, and they're like, oh, it's a pumpkin. It's an Easter egg. It's a Christmas egg. I'm like, that's so lazy, and I realize I do literally the same thing to my wife, and I'm like, oh, it's anniversary sex. It's hotel room sex. Just pressing the same vague oval shape into her for 8 years. I don't know. But yeah, my wife and I were together for 8 years. We've been trying to have a baby that whole time. After 8 years of trying for a kid, we finally had our first baby. Thank you. Yeah, 8 years has been a long time coming, so. Baby came out, stats were healthy, 95th percentile in torso length, 10th percentile in height. She's shaped like a wiener dog. Like peekaboo, she laughs when I disappear. So, she's doing great. She's got so many teeth. She's so far ahead on teeth. A little behind on brain, but she's doing it. Her Halloween's right around the corner. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be a good time. I got in trouble recently. I was holding her and my wife came in the room and there was just topless women on TV and she's like, what are you doing? I was like, she asked me to put on the Food Network. Food Network for babies, I don't know. Paula and her double Deans were just... Guy Fieriolo was next. It was gonna be good. So I switched it to a cooking video. I didn't realize I put on an ASMR cooking video. It came on, she was like,
Dip the chicken wings in the batter. And then lightly season
I'm
them.
like, oh, Jesus Christ. My wife's like, why is she talking like that? And I'm like, can you please be quiet? I'm trying to jack off. Try to get better though, try to eat healthier. I recently switched to plant-based alternatives, so I started doing plant-based cocaine. My dealer's sitting right there in the third row, the table, behind me. If you need some weed, come up front. We got a whole forklift operation going here. It's really good. I just want to get in good enough shape that like maybe I look like a hot treasure hunter. You know, like everywhere I go in this town, it's like a fucking episode of The Outer Banks. It's goddamn nuts. Growing up, we didn't have that. We had like the Goonies. The two best characters look like me at different stages of my life. So it's like it's Chunk and Sloth. You know, still thinking about it back there. It's nice, yeah, you know, but we've been tightening the belt in this economy. It's tough. I had to tighten the belt because autoerotic asphyxiation's free. So, you know, it's good. Someone explain that. No. Oh, that's great. Yeah, no, you're trying to get out more. I went and saw an all-female remake of the movie 8 Mile. They had to call it 6 Mile. I guess women only get 75%. I don't know about that, but it was a great show, though. It was a theater show. We were so close you could smell the actresses. We had box seats. So. Went to my doctor's recently because fucking, of course I did. Look at me, holy shit. No. She's like, how you eating? You're staying away from candy? And I'm like, well, you get the peanut butter M&Ms and you can mush two of them together. One of them breaks, you eat that one. You set the good one aside, and then you get, and eventually you only got one left. That's a strong one. You save that one. She goes, I'm gonna recommend you for therapy. Before I even got to my car, my insurance called me. They're like, yeah, we're not covering that. Like, I gotta figure out something else to do. So like, I started watching shows that make me feel good about myself. Now I gotta guess, is it cake? Or is it not cake? This is more my speed. Is this bowling ball made out of cake, or are these shoes made out of cake? And I'm at home like, oh my God, I hope it's not the shoes. They were just wearing them. Moved on from there to Masked Singer. That's always a fun one. Get a little too involved in that though. Like if that alligator isn't Carlton from the Fresh Prince, I'm gonna put a fucking gun in my mouth. So I don't know how well it's been working, but another ego boost I don't need. If you could see your contact name in other people's phones, would you do it? Would you want to see what your contact name, what other people are calling you? I don't think I could do it. Is every one of these just fat fuck? Oh, finally, a John Work. It's my wife. She doesn't want to be associated with me. I did accidentally see my best friend's date the other day. Yeah, I don't have a segue for that. There's no segue for when you accidentally see that. But I did. I gave it a B+. I was grading on a curve, but you know, it's good. It's fine. I do IT because obviously I do. Seriously. There's so many easy answers. The golf team's back there, like he's also terrible at golf. We can tell by the fake outfit. I look like I came out of a business professional clown car to come out here tonight. It's nice. But yeah, when you work in IT, people are like, oh, you must love technology. I'm like, I mean, I like it as a friend. I don't, like, you can't fuck the equipment, you know? You're not allowed to fuck the equipment, John. You can't, even when the printer says jam in rear door, you just gotta ignore it. Like, empty tray, I just filled you. Stuff though, you know, try to get out more. Try to do some landscaping. I hired a guy to do some edging around my driveway, but he never came. I was talking to my tree guy, and he's like, you know, I'll tell you something about those tall trees. You think you want more, but eventually you get sick of more. All right. That's just enabling me. We now return to the Confederate Lorax. Big business pollutes. Large corporations must be demolished, but I can name one institution we shouldn't abolish. All right, now, Confederate Lorax, no thank you. No thanks. I saw a handicapped woman. She was talking about how she refuses to get a placard. She's been handicapped from the waist down. For 15 years, she will not get a placard. And I gotta say, I admire the spirit. Because I think a lot of people in this room would park in the handicap spots if they would be allowed. I think a lot of people would park in the building. I would. I did. They took my license. It's terrible. I gotta walk. I'll get a placard. It's good. I do want to talk about I saw an article, and I've been talking about this for too long, but I saw an article they want to rename the Hurricanes because, I mean, Hurricanes have been fucking killing it in North Carolina lately, right? So they want to rename the team because I think it's awesome. I mean, we name our sports teams after things that just devastate our communities and kill our people. It's like, yeah, the Pompeii volcanoes, all right, the Navajo colonizers, like, all right. Introducing your Columbine White Kids. All right. Let's settle down, folks. Let's settle down. Came home the other day, a Hallmark Christmas movie was on my television. I mean, I've thrown birthday parties for my dog, which is as white as I can be, but like, yeah, the Hallmark Christmas movies are good. I try to guess if it's a Hallmark one or if it's a different genre based on who they allow in the film. So the main character was like, sweetie, my boyfriend, or the main character's best friend was like, sweetie, my boyfriend and I will meet you there. I'm like, that's not a Hallmark movie. They don't allow gay people in the Hallmark cinematic universe. It's just not allowed. They also don't have drinking, they don't have drugs, they don't have sex. It sucks, that place. Don't go to the Hallmark cinematic universe. It's not the only cinematic universe that just leaves things out and they don't really explain it, like the DC universe, they just leave out good movies. They don't even have those. MCU, Marvel, they don't even have death, you know, unless you're Iron Man. So, let's go, or Black Panther. So, all right, I think that's going to do it. Thank you very much, folks. I've been John Bradley.